How y'all doing today? My name's Ayin, and today's topic of discussion is going to be no thank you, no thank you. Now, when I'm thinking about this topic, this is a little bit of a follow-up to my other video on my criticisms aren't needed. They're not always needed. And this is with the exception of us talking about constructive criticism. You know, I like to be positive. I like to be encouraging in the things that we're talking about. And I don't like to really waste time on talking about negative things. Now, this is not to say that, Ayin just surrounds himself with all positive and you're living in this world of surrealism where it's just like, no negative, no negative. I'm just saying unnecessarily contributing to that. You're going to have negativity brought to you. You're going to have negative thoughts about things. You're going to have complaints. You're going to be disgruntled about things. But what are some of the healthy ways that we can overcome those? Because nobody likes sitting in a negative mindset. You want to look for solutions. Healthy solutions is the key word. Healthy solutions to your problems or your concerns. And when I think about this topic of no thank you, like I said, it's a little bit of a follow-up video to, my criticisms aren't needed. I'm thinking about something that I ended that video off on, where I was talking about, I really don't see the need to just give criticisms on everything and anyone and just going around just dropping my 2 cents in people's lap as if they really care. One of the reasons why I said this, some people may care. It may, you do enough of anything at times, you're going to get some results. But what I'm talking about is I'm really taking it to myself on my time and how much effort I'm willing to put forth up with things. One of the things that I mentioned in the video when I said, I don't see a need for me to have to, if it's something that I didn't like or didn't find appealing, I'm talking about as far as like social media, what have you, I don't find the need for me to have to stop. Let me let you know the 101 different ways that I, didn't like what you said or didn't approve, because I'm just like, hey, I didn't like it. I want to move on. I want to move on as quickly as possible. Like I said, this is separate from constructive criticism, and even in that manner of giving constructive criticism, will it really be well received, especially if the person's not asking for it? But I'm just talking about just criticisms, because this lines up with individuals who are just super opinionated. And the reason why I say no thank you to that, one of the things that I ended off with in that video when I was talking about, here it is, now if the person responds back to these criticisms, you just leaving your frame of mind open here. Now we're going back and forth on this. I don't want that. No thank you. I think it's something else more constructive that I could be doing. No thank you. No thank you also applies to just being caught up in unnecessary rigmarole. Minutia that's not even worth my time. I did another video when I said that, you can healthily do nothing. There are times where you have the option of not doing anything. You can just move on your way. See, the reason why some situations devolve into unhealthy interactions, because people take it upon themselves in that situation to go, hey, look, it's up to me. I got to do something about this. I got to, for better or worse, it doesn't matter. I gotta give them a piece of my mind. I gotta get the last word in. No, you are all the way wrong on what you're saying, or if you're not all the way wrong, I believe that you're wrong. I gotta let you know 101 different ways why you're wrong. When we leave this conversation, you're gonna be thinking what I'm thinking. Some people have that mentality. Again, this is exempt from constructive criticism. Just me even talking about all this and going down these different roads of saying the ways of how things and people and situations can tie you up. No, thank you. I talked about this in another video when it's like, when I've said, well, you know, if people were to ask, well, are you taking like a passive aggressive approach? No, the no thank you, or the I don't want to be a part of this. This is after, this is after the non-passive or the passive approach to doing things. I've already explained in other videos how there's been situations where I've tried a passive approach, and by passive approach, I'm going to say that you're in a situation. It's not the most ideal, because that's just life. That's the way things go. And I've not said anything. I've let the pieces move around me, how they move around me, even though I'm involved in it. And I'm just like, man, and I'm thinking to myself, never again. And the thing about it is, you would like to think that people would have your best interest, or people would think about you like how you would think about you, or how you would think about them. And in these situations where I've taken that passive approach, I'm like, no, you didn't observe anything. You didn't observe the things that I would have observed with you, where I would have been like, well, look, I notice this person is quiet to themselves. Hey, I could tell that this person is uncomfortable. What's wrong? Let me even talk to him. Because I want this person to be comfortable. Something's not jiving right here. But in those situations, I found people don't care, because they're absorbed with whatever they're absorbed with. So my next step was, okay, I'm not gonna make a big deal about this particular instance now. Now keep in mind, I'm just talking about these certain instances. There have been instances where it's like, hey, you know, look, we're gonna address this. But what I'm talking about is, I've had that passive approach where I'm like, don't even worry about it. You're in it now, because you know you've committed your services or your time or whatever you're doing with it. Go ahead, roll with it, because you really don't want to be getting into a heated discussion and whatever's going on. Go ahead and roll with it, because you committed to it. You got yourself into it. You made your choice on whatever it is that you're doing. And just know, this won't happen again. The next time it rolls around, no thank you. That's my 2 cents on it. I just want to take time out to discuss that with you today. If you hadn't already, hit that subscribe button. Follow me on my other social media, Facebook, Tumblr, Twitter, Instagram. Obviously, I'm on YouTube. Check out the book that I've written, link in the description box. And until next time, stay encouraged, avoid being discouraged. I'm Ayin. You have a good one.